Andre Agassi is writing, or has already written, a new autobiography titled Open, and it's explosive.
Here we go again. Explosive.
But this is really explosive, okay? He talks about something super controversial. He talks about using crystal meth.
Yeah, I'm going to rate that controversial.
Yeah.
That's true.
We have excerpts from his book. And he just admits to doing the crystal meth, and he also admits to lying to officials about doing it. And he blames everything on his former manager. So
let's hear, how did he do it? Do you have it?
yes, I do. So this is from his book. He says Slim is stressed too.
Slim is the manager?
The manager, yes.
Okay.
You want to get high with me? And he asks, on what? Slim says, gack. What the hell's gack? Crystal meth. Why do you call it that? Because it's the sound it makes when you're high. Makes you feel like Superman, dude.
You know, I must be square because I didn't know gack was crystal meth.
I didn't either. I'm like, what's gack?
Yeah.
And what makes a sound?
I don't know. Do you get high and go? I have no idea. I'm making stuff up. I don't know.
I don't know. It's really creepy. But anyway, so his book goes on to say, as if they're coming out of someone else's mouth, I hear these words. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, let's get high. All right?
Let's get high.
Hi.
All right.
He says, Slim dumps a small pile of powder on the coffee table. He cuts it, snorts it. He cuts it again. I snort some. I ease back on the couch and consider the Rubicon I've just crossed. There is a moment of regret followed by vast sadness. Then comes a tidal wave of euphoria that sweeps away every negative thought in my head. I've never felt so alive, so hopeful, and I've never felt such energy. I'm seized by a desperate desire to clean. I go tearing around my house, cleaning it from top to bottom. I dust the furniture, I score the tub, I make the beds.
So let's break that down a little bit. You know, in the beginning, I think, oh my God, man, why would you do that? Why would you do crystal meth when you're on top of the world? Are you nuts? And I know what he's meaning by that vast sadness, right? Like, I know when I screw up, like I gamble too much or something, believe me, I know the vast sadness, okay? So, now luckily it's not too much these days, so I feel pretty good about it. But anyway, so he does the crystal meth, but then he says euphoria like he's never seen before or felt before. Then I thought, interesting, right?
No, I think disaster.
But then here are the downsides of meth, okay?
Everything.
Yeah. Number one, cleaning. Who wants to clean? That's crazy talk.
Meth addicts.
Yeah, I mean, what? I didn't sign up for cleaning. No, seriously, number two, the real thing is, if you're overusing whatever part of your brain, in this case, sense of euphoria, happiness, etc., layman's way of referring to it is, you're going to burn it out. Okay, and then so when you're off the drug, you're going to have less of that to go to, right? And so you're going to feel that vast sadness more and more and more, and you're going to need the meth more, and then that's going to lead to you burning out those parts of your brain even more, and it's a vicious cycle, and you're going to wind up one terribly depressed dude.
Yeah. You're absolutely right about that, and that's why a lot of people who are into the rave scene and take these type of drugs and take ecstasy, right? They usually fall into this really deep, dark depression because when you take these drugs, your body releases endorphins, right? And your body only has a limited amount of endorphins, and each day it releases a very specific amount, right? If you take these drugs and all of a sudden your body's like, endorphins, 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 you're going to run out. The next couple weeks or next couple days, you're just going to be depressed, in a terrible mood, and it's just a bad situation. And
you crash, and then you get addiction, and then the straw that broke the camel's. I like how I'm having this conversation as if I actually considered taking meth, which I would never do in a million years, right? But that's not the kind of guy I am. But I saw the pictures of the guys with the teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, have you seen that? With the yellow and the teeth rotted away?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Oh, man, are you nuts? Why would you go in that direction? And you're on top of the world. You got all the money, everything you ever wanted. People are crazy, man.
Right.
And so then how did he lie to the officials?
He lied to the officials. This is when the officials called him and said, hey, you know what? You didn't pass the drug test. He says, I say Slim, who I fired, is a known drug user and that he often spikes his sodas with meth, which is true. Then I come to the central lie of the letter. I say that recently I drank accidentally from one of Slim's spiked sodas, unwittingly ingesting his drugs. I asked for understanding and leniency and hastily signed it.
All right, and guess what happened? They let him go. They believed that bullshit, right? And why? Nobody believes that. Accidentally ingested it. Come on, right? But because they didn't want to ruin his marketability and the marketability of tennis overall. He's one of the biggest stars, so they're like, oh yeah, accidentally ingested. Totally true. Okay, let's move on. And that's how things roll.